RuneScape 3 Mobile. Will it revive RuneScape 3? Let's speculate. RuneScape Mobile, a super interesting concept announced back in 2017. At this point in time, RuneScape had started working on developing a mobile client, as they thought this was a good idea because the player base of RuneScape had to go to work or go to school. Mobile would be the perfect opportunity to play or AFK RuneScape during breaks or on the move. Now, unlike old school RuneScape Mobile, which was released on mobile devices on the 30th of October in 2018, despite this being a delayed release on the previously announced release date during the winter of 2017, RuneScape 3 Mobile, also known as RuneScape Mobile, had no set in stone release date just yet. Though I assume and hope it's released before the end of 2019, I actually asked a JMod myself. The Jagex moderator then replied by saying that they have an idea where the development is and how far they are and when it's supposed to be ready, but as always they don't want to give a set in stone date because they don't know what might happen on the way leading up to the release. I personally hope and assume it is released before the end of 2019. Now, despite this delay, the RuneScape 3 Mobile, or RuneScape Mobile, is actually in beta right now, and a lot of the current player base of RuneScape actually has access to it, thanks to the recent 50,000 beta cap increase. If you guys did not know, the RuneScape Mobile beta actually has a cap of players, and they release a bunch of slots every now and then. I say the current player base because statistics show that the RuneScape Mobile beta cap increase did not impact the amount of players coming into the game, at least not to a visible extent. Now let's get into the video's topic. Will RuneScape Mobile, the full release, revive RuneScape 3? And by revive I mean increase the player base substantially. To make any assumptions or speculations, we must first look at the full release of old school RuneScape Mobile, because it's the only example we can actually use to compare or make speculations with. Old school RuneScape Mobile blew up the total player count of old school. It actually doubled old school's player base, and brought the player base up to a staggering 175,000 players on at one given point in time, not too long after the release in November, being a record. And what's even more impressive is that a lot of the players that actually came in through the release stuck around old school and increased the old school's player base online at any given point in time to this day on average. Now, returning to RuneScape Mobile, will the release of RuneScape 3 double the player base as well? And will these players stick around? My personal view on this is yes. The RuneScape 3 player base will see a massive spike in total players online for a few days during the release of RuneScape Mobile, which is going to make headlines on the RuneScape subreddit. But will these potential new players stick around? Well, I wouldn't be too sure about that. You see, old school mobile was such a success because most tasks in old school are simple. The interface is simple, and the game overall is just easier, meaning it's easier played on a mobile device. Now, RuneScape 3 on the other hand, at least currently in the mobile beta, is actually quite hard to play for a prolonged period of time. This is unless you're AFKing constantly. The fact of the matter is that the new players coming into the game will most likely see RuneScape as a game you can solely play on your mobile device. And the current RuneScape player base probably views RuneScape Mobile as a viable way of doing AFK activities. The problem with the newer players assuming RuneScape is a game you can actually play on mobile fully is that at this point in time, I actually don't know if this could be changed or will be changed. RuneScape 3 Mobile is actually a chore to play manually on mobile devices for a prolonged period of time. Hear me out, training skills and such is definitely doable. So is AFKing and possibly doing quests. But when it comes to any sort of combat that is not AFK, you start getting into the issues with the mobile interface. It's basically limiting yourself compared to playing RuneScape on a desktop computer or a laptop. And since RuneScape 3 is actually sometimes regarded as PvMscape by higher level players, I see this being a big issue for mobile only players. As learning a boss on a computer can be challenging in itself, imagine trying to learn a boss and the mechanics with a cluttered and limited interface using your fingers on your mobile device. I suppose this video is largely based on my personal opinion and view on RuneScape Mobile. So I want to ask you, the viewer, to drop your personal opinion down in the comment section below, as I'm eager to read other people their thoughts on the future release of RuneScape Mobile. And possibly your personal opinion of RuneScape Mobile right now and the state it is in. Continuing on the topic, what could Jagex aka RuneScape do to increase the amount of players flooding into the game on release day? I think a pretty simple answer to that question is they should just start an advertising campaign a month before release to let those veteran and potential new players that have never played RuneScape before know that RuneScape Mobile is happening, it's a thing, and it will be going down soon. Now, can you guys remember any ads since RuneScape 3? I don't think RuneScape has much ads these days. I remember RuneScape having ads on loads of websites back in the day, but these days I don't think I've ever seen a RuneScape ad since 2014 or something. Furthermore, what I think is even more important is keeping those players engaged in RuneScape. A possibly controversial way, but a good way of keeping a portion of players engaged for longer is giving mobile players a 5% experience boost for a certain period of time, being a week or maybe 2 weeks. That might do the job. Although I see a portion of the current players complaining about the 5% experience boost because of items like the refer a friend scroll, which also gives you bonus experience for a week. Maybe they should lock it to new accounts only, but then again, new accounts getting more bonus experience or more experience in general can be, controversial as well. Anyways, on that note, I actually want to end this video. I might revisit these points in the future when RuneScape Mobile is actually released to see what actually has happened. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, leave a like if you enjoyed, and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.